Hi, Dr Anita here, and welcome back. In the last video, we looked at the challenges of sleep, and part one was looking at how we address this in our daytime routine. And today we're going to look at part two, which is much more about our nighttime routine just before we go to bed. So what do? Number one, we need to steer away from heavy exercise because this is increasing our heart rate and causing us to be much more awake, taking much longer for our body and minds to relax. What you can do is a gentle stroll because that is a good way of easing your body and mind to that place of unwinding. Number two is staying off the screens in the evenings, especially 1 hour before your bedtime, because this is the blue light effect which is causing us to be awake, and taking your sight away from the blue light will help us to make sure our brains are now actually winding down. And number three is about what we're looking at, which is related to the content which might be agitating, such as the news or whatever else that you might find that causes you to be much more activated. Number four is the area of soothing your senses. And we've already looked at tips in other videos about how we can do that, but it's before bedtime thinking through how you're gonna have a dimly lit room, or maybe doing a bath or some activity like journaling or crosswords or whatever works for you, that's low stimulation and soothing all of your senses before you go to bed. And ideally you're going to do this 1 hour before your bedtime. So those are things you can do to prepare yourself before you go to sleep. But what happens when you feel wide awake in the middle of the night? And at this particular time, this is highly likely to happen. So what do you do at that time? Well, firstly, do not judge yourself for being wide awake and finding it difficult to get back to sleep, because that just adds so much more pressure and activity to your mind and your body. And secondly, if you're still awake after 20 minutes, then don't stay in bed. Make sure you get up out of your bed and go to another part of the home or even another part of your room, but don't stay in bed because your mind will start to wander, and actually it's very difficult in bed to get out of that mindset. So just move out of that space. And thirdly, when you are outside of your bed, find a low stimulation activity, something like reading or a puzzle or something that is very low stimulation. Make sure you're not doing something really high productive like chores or anything else like that, and definitely stay away from the screens. And then fourthly, once you feel sleepy again, then go back to bed. Now, you may well find that even after a few hours, you're back awake again, but that's okay. Just go through the same steps again until you're back to sleep. This is a way to actually approach your bedtime, and even if you're awake in the middle of the night. So I hope you find that helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay well, and I'll see you soon.